Okay, it's recording.
Are you
And I believe this is
recording?
episode 5.
No, this is.
Did you ever send the other one? Could you find it?
I did. Well, no, I did not because I got a new laptop.
Okay, that's fine. It's episode 5.
Episode 5. Episode
Episode
4.
5, we thrive.
So last episode was episode 5, but it's actually episode. No, it was episode 4, but it was actually episode.
Episode 4, the real 4 is the one that's missing out
The
in the
lost
cloud.
episode. The lost episode.
And so therefore our last episode slotted in for number 4. Now we're at episode 5, and this is when we thrive.
Yeah. Episode 4 came, like the lost episode 4 came at kind of I feel like a rough time for us because it was like right before Thanksgiving, and like I thought it was a good episode, but at the same time, like I felt like there was like a lot of things approaching that we didn't really realize with like the COVID stoppage and stuff. So it was like,
How could you predict that?
yeah, it was kind of an awkward episode if like we watched that in hindsight, because there were a lot of things we were like predicting and like kind of going forward, like, oh, this month is going to be so and so for the next episode, there's like, we can be talking about this, and then obviously like cuts. So I don't know, director's cut, I guess. So this is actually episode 5, but it's episode 6.
We're going with 5. Just
Hockey
stick with
down
5.
here, episode 5, Alex and Taylor, GTD Sports. Acronyms are tough sometimes. So, what has been going down with hockey, specifically the NHL? I would like to start with one thing. Did you see the new events they're adding to the skills challenge for?
Yes, I have that in our notes if you read them.
You do? Okay. Well, sometimes
I try to put it in more of like a chronological flow of the order, so it gets there. You just got to look for it, okay?
It's there. I see it. But it was already on my
mind.
mind.
Out of order?
Yeah, I feel like we should.
Okay, go out of order. Go for it. What do you want to say?
I think it's the best idea they've had in like years.
I'm telling you, like, Vegas was just such a good choice for this because you can go above and beyond, and they have not unlimited resources, but they have plenty of resources to make this an extravagant, entertaining, spectacular show.
Now, here's the problem. We'll get to the events in just a second. What are they going to do when they have to move the All-Star game back to, say, I don't know, Columbus, Ohio?
Well, that sucks for the people of Columbus, Ohio, because it will not be as great. Yeah, it's never going to be as good. This is just going to be a once in a lifetime thing, and it's going to move on, and it's not going to be as great. And then in a couple of years, They'll go back to Vegas, and then maybe they'll make Vegas a permanent spot. Hot take.
Yeah, honestly, like I was thinking about this when I saw the events, which we will talk about. Honestly, I think they should just keep the All-Star game in Vegas. It just makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like you can actually do these fun things, and like it's like, oh well, like these other cities have like cool little things. Not really. What are you gonna do in, I don't know, Anaheim, California?
You're definitely not gonna be in the fountains of the Bellagio.
No, or play blackjack on the Las Vegas Strip.
It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like maybe it's okay if the NHL decides to settle down in Las Vegas for the All-Star game. Because here's what they're going to do. We're going to get to the games right now. One game, I believe it's being held on the Strip. That's what they were saying. I don't know exactly where that's going to be. As someone
They're also shutting like the main street down. So
yeah, that's also kind of news because
that's money.
As someone who actually lives on that street, I don't know where they're going to do that. I guess it'll be in front of the Bellagio fountain.
Are you going?
No, I got hockey this weekend. I honestly, if I didn't have hockey, I'd probably make it.
You could skip.
Make an effort to go home. No, not right now. We're a little light on players, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, so they're going to be playing blackjack, I believe, and where it's like first to 21.
Yeah, it's like They call it 21 and 22, like 21
Yeah, and
Jack, and then in
2022. Yeah. And they have like 52 cards to shoot at. So it's kind of like an accuracy challenge, I guess.
Yeah, so they have to like basically hit 21, I believe, and
Yeah.
by
I think
accuracy.
it's going to be a cool concept, but I think it's going to like actually practically work pretty bad. I think it'll be funny because it'll be so practically challenging to actually pull off, I feel.
And also it's like street hockey, which makes it
Yeah.
like fun, but it's like that's not
Yeah.
not that
Do you,
it's that much different, but it's
I, I'm just thinking of do you remember like the last All-Star game in St. Louis where they had like instead of like the foam boards for the accuracy challenge, they had like the touchscreen net thing that
did
they
you
had.
also see where they were like shooting from like this giant stage and they had to go like all the way down?
That
Remember
was
that?
no, not that one. But I know
Oh,
what you're talking about.
yeah.
I guess that was like St. Louis's cool thing.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Shooting from the concourse. Okay. No, but it was the actual accuracy challenge. And it was like they like put like a I guess like a big smart board in front of the net, right? And it had like the targets. And like players would like hit the targets, but it wouldn't register. So it was like, hey guys, may want to test this technology first.
Yeah, but I also feel like Vegas might have it figured out. I have faith in them.
We'll see. We'll see. They don't have it figured out when it comes to team loyalty. So
Whoa, whoa,
um
whoa, whoa, whoa.
whoa, whoa,
Shots
whoa, whoa, whoa,
fired.
whoa, whoa. The other game they're gonna play, which I think is probably gonna actually be really cool, and I hope I get a chance to see this somehow. If my game doesn't coincide during the skills challenge. They're going to actually get the players on a boat and have them go out to the Bellagio fountain, and they're going to be like, I guess, like kind of saucing it onto other targets in the fountain area. That's actually really funny. That's
Let
really
me
cool.
pull up the photo and then share screen because how they the photo of it just looked so cool.
And they are going to use like the fountain like effects during it. It was like it's like an additional challenge,
Can
I
you
believe.
see this?
Uh, yes, yeah, that's
This
it.
is what it would look like. They're literally on like floating thing, and that's how they're doing it. And then yeah, with
Yeah,
the fountain and like light show too.
yeah. So it's also pretty funny. Is like, I guess like, so are these players specifically just doing that event because that's like not necessarily next to the stadium. It's not far, but they're gonna need like at least a police escort to get their players efficiently there.
Yeah, so it says that
And
both
they can't shut down that much of the strip. If it's from basically where T-Mobile is to the Bellagio, that's a good amount.
okay. Because it says February 4th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm guessing they're not going to be happening at the same time. But it says that they were both happening at 7:30. Or at least that's how I took it.
I don't know.
I guess they could happen at the same time.
And this will be on ABC, right? The whole All-Star weekend is like on ABC or ESPN or something.
This says ESPN, yeah.
Okay, so okay, Skills Challenge is probably on ESPN. You're right. The
Game.
game is probably on ABC. I guess.
So, yes, ABC, ESPN Plus. And that's February
Okay.
5th at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Is it gonna be? Yeah, it's gonna be the 3 games, right? Yeah,
Yeah, because you
because
got
they
the
gotta do
2-2, whoever wins.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Huh. Well, I mean, I think they're trying. I think our last episode we literally talked about how they weren't trying at all with this Vegas thing, but I guess they watched the episode and were like,
I think actually, yes. Every person in Vegas definitely watched our episode and was like, wow, they can't roast us. They'll ruin our reputation. So we need to get on it.
yeah, so cool.
So everyone, you're welcome.
And I think they have another assortment of special guests who are going to be a part of it. And I like how it's like usually they always bring in like some of the best like female hockey players consistently, like a celebrity or two. But then there's just Trevor Zegras as like a special guest.
Special guest.
Like they couldn't get him on the actual roster. I don't actually know how he's like doing statistically, this because like no one actually like looks at his stats. Like everyone's like, oh, he's first in the Calder race. I'm like, probably fair, but like, is he actually performing that well? Okay, 32 point. Yeah, oh, he's fine. But then why didn't he make the All-Star team? I don't know.
And not even like on like the voting initially or like last man in. Like, why wouldn't?
Yeah, like I get Troy Terry's having a good season too, but it's like NHL. Like, who was their first pick then? The Ducks. What? Am I crazy? Who's their first pick?
I know we talked about it last episode, but I could not
Did we?
tell you.
Oh goodness! Wait.
Also,
Anaheim Ducks. Just give me the answer.
Vegas is also going to celebrate youth hockey in conjunction with the NHL All-Star Game.
Let me just tell you, Vegas does not have a deep roots in youth hockey. John Gibson.
That's why they're promoting it.
John Gibson, really? I mean, he's good, but kind of boring. And I'm not a Trevor Zegras fan. I don't necessarily care for him, but come on, NHL. You're better than this.
Come on.
Actually, they're not.
I was going to say, I feel like we just talked about how they're not better than this, but
anyway, yeah. So actually kind of cool events. We'll see how they'll get them to work. I'm sure the technical difficulties will be really funny. MGK will be performing. Great, I guess. Yeah, not really much else to say about the All-Star game. I mean, we have our rosters. I think McKinnon is now out, unfortunately.
yeah.
They replaced him with, I just saw this yesterday.
I know, I got the alert.
Who just got in?
Roman Yossi will.
Oh yeah, isn't he like supposed to be like first in the Norris race right now, besides
I
Makar?
believe so, yeah.
Because he has like the most points out of any defenseman by like a pretty. He's like doing well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think they
43.
would replace McKinnon with him if he wasn't.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see. They've got effectively 3 days before the skills competition, so we'll see. It could always come tumbling down.
You just really never know.
You never know. You never know. I feel like I'm being really skeptical here, and I don't mean to be. But what do you think?
I think it'll turn out well. I at least hope it does, just because if everything goes according to plan, it will be phenomenal. And it'll be like, I don't want to say like history making, but it'll be like really cool for them. And yeah,
If this works, they really should consider staying in Vegas for the All-Star game. Yeah.
Or at least if they don't like right away, it kind of gives other cities like, oh crap, we got to step it up because Vegas did this. Obviously, Vegas has like those resources.
Yes.
But you
got to draw it out of these other cities.
Yeah, you can step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So never know.
Yeah. So I guess they kind of have to really get their event thinking skills going next season, because this will probably be tough to beat, assuming it does turn out well. But let's see, I guess. I had something to say about. I'm just losing my thoughts today. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a Tuesday.
Oh, who do the Blackhawks? Who are they sending?
DeBrincat.
DeBrincat.
Yep.
Is Fleury having a good season? Because I think that would been cool to send.
Is Fleury having a good season? Is that what you just asked?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not doing bad. Is he the team isn't having a good season? So it looks bad on him.
I get you.
Kinda. So I'm gonna
Well,
stop my comment right there.
I think that would have been a good opportunity. He could have been a special guest. I think that'd been fun. But
Oh yeah.
he's probably been to enough All-Star games, I guess, now that you think about it. So
You can never have enough.
you can never have enough. Well, since you did create the notes for today, I'll let you go back to your chronological
Thank
order of
you.
things. But I thought the All-Star game was big enough to mention first.
Well, I just wanted to go like what's happening right now and then more end with that.
It's fair.
That was my thoughts. Anyways,
Yeah.
going back to the present, I guess.
Back it up.
Current standings, what do you like? What don't you like? What's surprising? What's disappointing?
Really not much different from the last episode I think we did.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed much. I feel like we're kind of at the point in the season where unless someone takes off, it's not going to change all that much.
Yeah, no. I guess Oilers are still kind of teetering on either not making the playoffs or getting in as like a third seed when they should have been probably a runaway in that division, like as they, they're built to be, at least on the offensive end. Obviously they have some pretty bad contracts on the backside of things, especially with Duncan Keith and who else do they have? Tyson Berry. They kind of pay those guys a lot, and yet they don't really do much. So I don't know. I feel like nothing's really changed since the last time we've kind of gone over this standing wise. Obviously, from a player perspective, Jonathan Huberto has been kind of rocketing up and is actually now the leader in points in the NHL with 63. So that's pretty impressive. I don't know exactly how many games he's played so far, but he's definitely overperforming for sure.
And he was the #1 star of the month for January.
Yes. #1 start of the month, beating out both Brian Rust and, of course, UC Saros, both having good months themselves. I actually didn't really know Brian Rust was on that much of a tear.
Neither until I read into it. I was like, oh, he is tearing it up.
Yeah, I haven't really seen anything on him this whole month until I guess today is when they released that post. I was like, oh, well, I guess that's cool. He's a bit of a veteran, I guess, and I would have expected maybe someone else in that position, but good on him for squeaking in there.
Yeah.
I guess with UC Stars as the second star of the month, this begs the question: would you rather have him or Shesterkin on your team right now?
Probably Saros, just because he's kind of on a hot streak. And maybe this little star of the month, he's like, oh, I got a little confidence boost in me. I can do this. I'm also always down for the underdog.
Yeah,
I love the underdog story. So
yeah, you gotta love Saros, who's, I think they say he's 5'10", but I mean, realistically, that guy is like probably the same height as me, 5'8". So,
but he's not chill.
Okay, what? Chill, relax. I wasn't saying anything. I'm just saying, like, this is how tall he is. It wasn't a comment on Saros' abilities. I'm just saying I'm a supporter of him. Jeez. Okay, God. But I think I'm picking Shesterkin.
Oh.
Because I think while the Rangers are good, while the Rangers have a lot of tools in front of him, I think he is the difference in why the Rangers are having such a good season so far, when I think everyone expected them to maybe to be above average, maybe at best.
Yeah, but they're really doing really well right now.
They're doing really well, which is, yeah. And him with a .937 save percentage, playing pretty good amount of games. That's pretty good season so far.
And I mean, the Metro, they got good people they're playing against too.
Yeah, exactly. They have to play against like teams with Ovechkin and Crosby and whatnot. So it's like you're playing against Hall of Famers that are goal scorers, and he's obviously making a huge difference. I would pick him right now and probably for the season. So I think he's probably going to win the Vezina. I don't know who I picked originally to win the Vezina this year.
I don't think it was him.
It was not him. No, I'd already go ahead and say that. But I'm impressed. Very impressed.
And going kind of, we'll cover two of these. Going to Pittsburgh because we got Rust, and then also, so Rust got third star of the month.
Yes.
Go Brian. He 1.19 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid.
Yep.
And then along with that, he's got his buddy, his teammate, Sidney Crosby, who is 2 goals away from 500.
Wow.
Which is,
I know Crosby has had those slower year so far, but I mean,
even his slow years are pretty still dominant.
The dude's been in the league for a long time. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about. Sid is in his, what is he, mid-30s now? Jeez, that's nuts.
Don't you feel like I feel old?
I think the worst one for me is Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane considered a veteran. That's wrong.
He's a dad.
He is a dad.
Which is like weird. I'm like, I thought you were like 18.
Yeah. So again, this is just another one of those, that generation of players is moving forward. And I actually was watching a video with Bizanet did like a all-star fantasy draft against who's the video game guy? Nasher or something. Nasher 61. I don't know if you follow any of that. Probably not. But Biz was saying that there was like this new generation of players like Jack Hughes, Zegras, who else? Troy Terry. Like these are all, he calls it the TikTok generation of hockey players.
That's annoying.
Well, technically, I'm guessing, let's see. We're not technically in that year group though.
No, I would not consider
technically same age as like Cale Makar, who's like he's like one step removed from that.
It's like we're the older half of it.
Yes.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we're not connected to that at all.
No.
So I thought that was pretty funny that he brought that up, and he's like, honestly, I don't even know what to do anymore. It's like they were talking about how they all split the bills at these like dinners, because I'm sure you've seen like have you seen 24/7 before, the old like more classic, how they always do like the cards in the hat, and like whoever gets their card has to pay for the whole thing, and it doesn't matter like who they are. They're like, oh, they just split all their.
If it's a rookie.
And I think Ryan Whitney was like, I'm disgusted. I think I'm gonna throw up hearing that.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. I like how this new generation of players is just, they're kind of changing so much at once that everyone's like, whoa, hold on.
And it's just funny because even these like 30-year-olds are like being grandpas.
Yeah.
Like on these teams, they're like, well, back in my day.
Yeah, it's like you got Tomas Hertl, who's a veteran in the league. It's like, what? Why? Why?
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. He's the 19-year-old who scored 4 goals in 2012. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
So, yeah.
Speaking of this whole TikTok generation and rookies, we got our rookie of the month.
Yep.
From the Panthers. So that's pretty exciting. I know we talked about earlier if rookies can be nominated more than once in the season. Do we know if that's true or not?
I don't think it's overlapped so far. So, yeah. NHL Rookie of the Month. I'm guessing you're looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep, nope, they haven't overlapped so far because it went Seider, Zegras, Raymond, Lundell. So.
Okay. So Lundell, he has topped all rookies with 14 assists and 17 points in 15 games. That's pretty
he's playing on a good team though. You have to.
That's true. Like the Panthers are 4 points ahead of Tampa Bay right now, or 5 points. Sorry, I didn't know how to do math for a second. 5 points ahead of Tampa Bay, which makes me happy.
They're 2 points ahead of the Avalanche for the league lead, which honestly, the Avalanche have kind of snuck into the front of the league just completely, because they didn't start off like
No, because
necessarily.
I was worried about my predictions because I had a lot riding on a
Yeah,
lot of verbal words riding on the Avalanche, nothing actually. But
at
they
least you
really
didn't.
did like kind of come back. Not that they were doing bad, but it was just kind of like a not as impressive. But I feel like they're getting back into the groove.
At least you didn't pick the Islanders as your winner.
Yeah, I guess that is embarrassing.
Yeah, that was maybe one of my worst predictions to date.
Hey, you
Like
never know. They can come back.
speaking of like comebacks, I know this is kind of unrelated to hockey, but the Tom Brady retiring saga is hilarious to watch. And like
I
I don't
was
think
really like, they're like, he's retiring. He didn't make it official. I'm like, what? Why did we like? You guys are dumb. Why did you announce it if it wasn't official? But then he's going back. He's like, it's day by day. I'm like, how many days? I'm retiring.
like it's just I know there won't like when Sidney Crosby or Ovechkin retires, no one will really it won't be to nearly the same degree. And I don't think it should,
Yeah.
maybe just because of how he's affected American sports. And like he is probably one of the greatest athletes we've seen. That's why we're even talking about it on a hockey show, I guess. But um, it was just really funny. And especially like Boston media blowing up that they didn't acknowledge the Patriots in his goodbye letter. That was so fun.
Yeah, it's really funny. Because especially in North Carolina, a lot of people are Patriots fans. So
Yeah, like a
all of
lot of
their like
transplants
social
from the
media,
Northeast. Yeah. So funny.
it's been interesting seeing
Yeah.
all of that been
So
posted.
I can't wait till Sidney Crosby retires and everyone's freaking out why he didn't thank the Penguins for some reason.
Could you imagine? That would be really awkward.
But another player that did retire that I think everyone was super happy for, everyone appreciated. Lundqvist, obviously he'd been retired, but he had his jersey rafter thing retired into MSG, and that was really cool. I didn't get to watch the ceremony, but
I saw the
uh,
videos after,
the
and it was
videos
really
were
sweet. They did
awesome.
a good job.
They did a good job. I think Lundqvist deserves it. Unfortunately, he never won a cup, so it is what it is. But at the same time,
Hard.
he's probably one of the best goalies of the 21st century so far.
Oh, 100%.
And like I get like Fleury has more wins or whatever, but at the same time, like I always thought Lundqvist was a better goaltender than even some of his counterparts who have gone on to have better accomplishments, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Like he was just that good.
Well, and also like he was one of like the most consistent goaltenders. I feel
Yes,
like
absolutely.
you always knew what you were getting out of him, and it always was hard work and like skill, obviously. But I also
Yeah.
felt like he did bring a big leadership role into it, and I feel like sometimes with goalies that's not always the case in the locker room where it's not as much of a huge leadership presence, but he definitely was one of those people who had that.
Yeah. I mean, make no mistake, that guy is like one of the faces of the Rangers, like kind of thing. Because he's had like a huge change in like guard between like all the different like team members he's had, kind of thing, with like they're like obviously the team that took him to the finals, the team he kind of retired with that have started having with I don't know, was Panarin already on that team yet? I think he was, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, on the last season. Obviously the teams he came into the league with, like he's been with the Rangers forever, and I think the ceremony that they gave him was very respectful of that.
I agree.
So very cool things that were done right in the NHL. Um, the Rangers and Lundqvist getting it right there. So very cool.
Kind of talking about goaltenders, is I read an article that we might not see Carey Price return this season.
Yep. And that kind of begs the question, if we don't see him return this season, will we see him return really at all? I guess he's obviously a bit younger, but we have seen players in sports that have been like considered the best at what they do retired too early because of injuries. And I think Carey might fall victim to this. Who is the Panthers? I'm thinking football. Was he a linebacker? Luke, what was his name? Luke, start with a K.
I don't know how to even pronounce this.
Yeah, that guy. 52.
Actually,
Right?
Coochly?
I'm not even gonna try.
Okay. But
But
him.
I think he was like considered like one of the best like linebackers in the NFL for a long time, or at least when he was at his peak, which is what Carey is when he is playing well. He's easily one of the best goalies, and he's actually kind of transformed how goaltending has shaped itself almost. Like he's become the new blueprint for how goaltenders should train to aspire to be. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I think also what's hard, especially in these professional athletes, like they spend their whole lives wanting to get to this point, and then they're there, and then they get injured. And as you said, if they can't get back to that skill level that they were, like not only is that like physically demanding, like that's mentally draining when
Oh
you
yeah.
want to get back to that spot so much, but you physically can't anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things. It's like not like giving up, but it's like, do you just move forward from that and try
Mhm.
to figure something else out? Or yeah, like I don't really know. Obviously, I'm not a professional athlete, so I don't really know everything that goes on, but I think that would be really hard. Especially I think it was his knee that he had surgery on.
Yeah.
And that's just like tough. It's like one of your major
Yeah. Have we even seen him
mobility
at all
things.
this season?
I don't think so. I remember he returned to like practice and stuff. And we were excited about that, but I don't think he's played in a game.
That's a good question. Um, it's really is too bad because honestly, he's a stand-up person too. And yeah, he hasn't played at all this year.
Mhm.
But I mean, some things just kind of happen that way. And unfortunately, it got one of the better goalies of the generation. So kind of sad.
Mhm.
So we'll see if he does return. Hopefully he does. I don't know if he'll be with Montreal again. I think his contract won't. I don't know. I'm just talking.
Yeah, I don't know what his contract entails and everything, but also it's like then that also begs the question. It's like, well, if only these teams are wanting him, is that
Yeah,
worth it
get the
as well?
value out of him while you can, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then it's
Because
like, will he want to go there? Will he want to move? And there's just a lot of factors that play into it for sure.
we did see the kind of a different situation where we saw the Coyotes trade for the rights to like Datsuk right before and they traded like all these like I think they were like pretty valuable picks and like I think maybe one or two decent players and then he's like yep not I'm not sticking around. So effectively they just they just gave away stuff.
Yeah, that's really disappointing, but kind of is like on brand with the Coyotes in a way.
Yep. So this is actually something I think we can actually go in about because there are, I don't know if you mentioned it here, a lot of rumors that the Coyotes, well, there's no rumors. They don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, they're
And
gonna move out of Phoenix.
yeah. So in the lost episode, I said I would have like some different um, options for the Coyotes. Obviously, like some things came up. We didn't really get to that next episode until much later. But
Is that in our lost episode where we talked about it?
we did, but it was like it's still somehow there's still like updates to this story with the Coyotes not getting it together
Yeah,
because now
because didn't the city like not let them renew, or they didn't come to terms so they couldn't renew their
yeah, so they're
stadium?
not renewing with the stadium. They are currently talking about moving to Arizona State's new hockey stadium, which is going to be less than 5,000 seats, which is the same as a major juniors league.
But also, how many people do they actually get in? Would the stadium look full?
I think what was funny was someone tweeted like the detail of like their plans to move to the Arizona State Stadium, and they said, "Hey, Brad Marchand, what do you think of this?" And he goes, well, it doesn't really matter if they have 5,000 seats; they'll have to give away 4,500 tickets anyway to get those filmed.
So
This was on Twitter. Like it was, I saw the tweet in person. I was like, no way.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but like he didn't have to say it.
I mean, true. He didn't have to, but
He's been on a tear recently, that guy on social media.
gotta love him.
I feel like he's done caring. He's like, Vincent Trocheck, screw that guy.
Oh, this says, this would be kind of tough to do. So Arizona Diamondbacks, their thing is it's inside, and they said that
There's no way. I know where you're getting.
That's a temporary solution, but I'm like, that's tough. Because I've been at Chase Field, like it's really nice, but
you can't put a hockey rink there,
especially permanently. Like bad news bears.
Oh my goodness, Arizona Coyotes. Like, what's so funny about them is like the only thing I truly believe that is keeping them where they are is how good their branding is. With like the NHL needs like their kind of Kachina vibes because they don't have anything like that, right? It's like it's very unique. Their their new home and away jerseys that like they've gone back to actually are very cool, kind of thing. I loved their reverse retro last year. That was purple.
I really like their logos and everything.
Yeah,
and all the colors they use. It's really cool. I do like what they do.
Yeah, let's erase the maroon and white and like black era that they had, because that was kind of boring and honestly led to some of their problems, I feel. And now that they're in the Kachina era, it's like the NHL is like, guys, can you please figure it out? We actually have something good about your organization, and yet you're going to make us change it.
Yeah. And I also, in this article, said Quebec City.
I don't think them. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know where Quebec City is. Let me look at a map.
So I think the biggest options are probably going to be Quebec City or Houston.
Kansas City is also up there.
Why Kansas City?
I would prefer Kansas City over Houston.
I don't know.
Okay, so Quebec City is like northeast of Montreal.
Okay, how far is it? Like from Montreal specifically?
I wasn't getting that far. Gosh, didn't know I was gonna have to. Also, Montreal's not far from Ottawa either.
And you've already got so many like teams condensed on the east.
2 hours and 41 minutes by car. Would you like me to see how far it would take you to walk? Perhaps a train ride?
I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. Just wanted to ask.
I personally think they're I don't know, because the Coyotes just they're like they're scraping to get by, but at the same time they're so bad at it too. It's like I have no idea what they're gonna do, and the league isn't exactly helping them.
No, why would they?
Well, they should. That's their team.
I mean, yes, they should.
They should.
Will they?
I think if you move them to Houston, you open yourself up to a top 4 market in the US. Now, is Houston going to accept them? I don't know. They kind of have their own sports problems right now. Texans haven't been great. Astros cheated.
Cheaters.
Yeah. And Houston itself, not really hockey city. But what you do get, bit of a rivalry with the Stars, kind of cool. Again, market, you get market access to Houston, kind of good. And another team in the South which you can also just leave them in the Central Division too. So
true. I think also with Houston, like Dallas just kind of became more of like hockey people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I don't know.
It might be like
take time, or is it going to take people away from that?
Yeah.
Like I just don't know. I don't know.
It's hard to judge because I see a lot of people on Twitter. There's this NHL to Houston or whatever account that like obviously took a lot of inspiration from the NHL to Seattle, NHL to Vegas accounts or whatever. I see all these people wanting teams in Houston, like a team in Houston, and specifically the Coyotes to move there. but I I don't know if they're the people that are actually going to buy season tickets. I don't know if they're going to be the people that watch games, or they just want a hockey team in Houston because it's Houston and they just want a team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I don't know if they'll be able to.
I don't know if they care very much besides putting it out on
Just
Twitter.
saying we have a team.
Exactly. I don't really see the effort being put in by Houston, the city, either way. So
that's why my vote's with Kansas City.
I don't know.
I'm sticking with that.
I've never been to Kansas City.
Kansas City, you're going to have an automatic rivalry with St. Louis. You have a lot of St. Louis people who now live in Kansas City. Kansas City is a hot spot for young kids, young people right now. Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Have you been to Kansas City?
My brother lives there. Yes, I've been to Kansas City.
I've never been there. I don't even think
I've been
to Missouri.
He does. He plays an adult league hockey, and he plays against teams that are full of like former Kansas City Mavericks, and so they always get smacked.
Okay.
So my vote's with Kansas City.
I don't know. I just think this whole situation, the fact that we're even thinking about it is pretty funny. What about like Salt Lake City? That's kind of a cool NHL environment.
That would be cool.
They tried to do an outdoor game on Lake Tahoe. Obviously, that's Vegas, California. I know. Geography people, don't come after me. I know. I'm just saying you get a similar ski vibe.
Similar vibe.
Yeah, similar vibe. Yes, exactly. And I think that's a vibe that
I think we can both agree on that. We can agree on Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it's a decent option. They don't even have to be Salt Lake City. They could be Utah's hockey team.
Mm-hmm. True. Idaho.
No.
Boise.
No, there's
the Idaho potatoes.
I don't think so. I think
Montana.
No.
The Dakotas.
The NHL would really be shooting itself in the foot if they went to the Dakotas.
Iowa.
No. Indiana, no.
No.
Now they don't have a team in Wisconsin, do they?
No.
Milwaukee? No, because then it's just going to get infiltrated by Chicago fans.
Yeah, my other brother lives in Milwaukee, and there's a minor league team. I think they're called like the Refrigerators or something. It's very odd. Hold on.
Because have you seen a Cubs Brewers game before?
Yeah.
It's just Cubs fans. They don't actually. The Brewers don't even have fans there. It's really funny. Okay,
so I'm going to share my screen again because this is also funny. Can you see this?
It's loading. Yep. Oh yeah, the fridge. Right?
Yeah, like that's so fun.
Wait. There was an issue with this logo.
There was an issue with this logo.
No, I'm thinking of Syracuse. So Syracuse's club hockey team. Fun fact for those who aren't familiar with club hockey, these teams aren't really affiliated with the schools, if that makes sense. They're allowed to use school names, but the schools also dictate how much of a degree their name is used. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like you worked with TCU's hockey team, so there's obviously a lot of issues with that. But Syracuse basically was told to stop using the Syracuse S logo for reasons I don't know. Branding people are weird when it comes to clubs, and I think they ripped that logo because they took the fridge and they made it the Syracuse orange. Oh, it was actually really good. It was a clever logo, but they were like, people immediately saw the similarities and were like, you can't do that. So they got shut down immediately on that.
The only thing, because the other thing, if you went to Wisconsin, I feel like you'd have to go more north of Milwaukee because with the Chicago people. Too close. But then if you go Madison, then you have like Madison, Wisconsin, like the college there, the university's there.
Hear me out. They could go back to Atlanta.
Okay, I said that last time and you were like, no, no.
I know, because I
So,
don't think you should.
whatever.
Be a terrible idea.
Well,
Well, yeah. Look at
any
what
other
you
hockey
did.
things you got for us?
Look at what you did, Coyotes. This is all your fault.
I think it's the people of Arizona's fault.
It's everyone's fault. Everyone is to blame.
Anyways, who you gonna go for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's a good point. Super Bowl. We got Rams and Bengals. I'm gonna let you start with your pick because I have a very hot take that I feel like it might cause some issues if other people on the staff of going the distance hear it.
I'm going for the Rams.
Okay, that's about it. Let's see.
Well, okay, so I have this. So I like football, but I don't have like a team where I'm like, yes. Long
That's
story
fair.
short, a girl that I'm friends with, she's from Wichita, and she was like, I really want to like be a fan of a football team. And we're like, be a Chiefs fan. You're from Kansas. So then we all kind of got behind the Chiefs and we're like, yeah, go Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
So Bengals beat the Chiefs, so therefore I can't go for the Bengals.
So it's like
And also,
it's like the college
Matthew
game day
Stafford's from
guests.
the Lions, and my other friend is from Detroit. So he came from the Lions. So I just find any connection I can. So I'm
That's
going
like
for the
the-
Rams. And I
That's like
like the Rams, the blue. I like the blue color.
Yeah, I like their colors too. It's like the college game day guest picker where they're always like, well, I have this like
I like the colors.
I have like this cousin's friend who's from Cincinnati, so I'm gonna go with the Bearcats this weekend, and it's like, okay, but
So going for the Rams. Patrick Mahomes really blew that game, so that was awkward, but
yeah,
go Chiefs.
I am also going for the Rams for the fact that I do not like Joe Burrow. I really don't like him. Also, I think the Bengals are the most irrelevant franchise in the league, and it is so bad for football that they are in the Super Bowl. Not that it matters because the NFL is already king. It's not like the NHL where it's like you get a bad matchup in the finals and it's like no one really cares. Like everyone cares it's the Super Bowl, but I don't really care about the Bengals. I don't really care about Cincinnati, and I am annoyed with Joe Burrow. So I'm going Rams all the way. I want Stafford to win his first Super Bowl. I think he's a likable guy. Again, I like the colors there. That's my fun reason. And also be kind of cool for back-to-back Super Bowls won by a team hosted in their own building.
I also like the Rams because I watched that movie American Underdog, and
Oh, is that any good? I can't will
it's
myself
so
to
good.
watch.
No, it's so
watch.
good.
It looks so bad.
No, it's amazing.
No, it looks bad.
No, it's so good.
I don't know.
I saw it with my parents. It was so good. It was so good. Highly recommend. Anyways, that was about the Rams. So therefore, going for the Rams.
Kurt Warner, right?
Yes.
I see.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
I don't know. It just like it looks goofy. The dude playing Kurt Warner looks goofy. I don't know. Maybe Kurt Warner. I don't remember Kurt Warner. That's the thing.
Maybe he's a goofy, silly, goofy guy.
Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't really care.
Anyways, going for the Rams, we'll agree on that because you think my movie is stupid, but I think it's good.
I can't will myself. I'm not going to watch it. Compared to Miracle. Have you seen Miracle? I'm guessing you've seen Miracle. You're a hockey person.
Did you just ask me that?
I don't
I'm
know.
offended that you asked me
We
that.
never talked about Miracle.
Me and my family probably watch it once a year at least.
Okay.
Like it's a family thing. And for one of my brother's hockey games, my mom got printed on a thick poster board his speech. She would hold it up
Okay.
for his hockey game. So yes, I've seen Miracle.
Good
And no,
compared
it's not
to
as good as Miracle. Miracle is like
the
top
best sports
10
movie of
movies
all time.
ever. I didn't say American Underdog's top 10 movies ever, but it's very, very good.
This has become a very contentious episode.
Anyways,
Let's end it there.
bye.
Miracle better than American Underdog. That's what we're gonna
That was
lead off
never
on.
argued. But American Underdog is really good. Everybody go watch it and sponsor us. But just sponsor me because
Sponsor
Peter doesn't
us.
like American Underdog and Kurt Warner's goofy.
Yeah, unless they sponsor us, I will not watch the movie.
This guy's mean. Anyways, till
Thank you, everyone. This was a fun episode.
lots of fun until you started hating on my movie picks.
Yes.
Bye for now.